Hello. How doing? How's it going? I hope everybody's having a good night. It's absolutely brass monkeys outside, so I figured I'd just do a cozy game because I didn't feel like losing my mind at Crash Bandicoot, not gonna lie. Yeah, so that's happening. Got some lo-fi Disney in the background. And I've got a lot of shit I need to collect on this thing, so why not? I'll move along. Sorry for the croakiness. Turns out I'm still a little bit sick. Okay. Trying to get the sound balance right. Don't mind me. So, as you can see, the place is a mess because the rule of thumb is when you have an event on, you do not do anything. You do not get rid of any of the thorns or any of the gems or nothing like that. That's not what we do. Because you can guarantee as soon as you get rid of them, it'll be like, oh, remove 150 of these. And you're like, well, go fuck yourself because they're gone. Okay, so. Tiny Chef, fish, apples, mine, dreamlight stuff, and Find Memories is going to be fun. Okay.
Evening, like Gusto said, anyone can cook.
We've put the order through for the custom emotes. They should be with us, hopefully, soon. I don't actually know the time limit. I'll have to check it again, because I forgot.
Just so you know, I've got some new goods at the store.
I don't know what Disney song this is meant to be, mind. Oh, that'll be why I've not seen that one. Never mind. Well, we've got all of them. I've got that.
My neighbors
Got
are
them.
fabulous.
Got that. There is a third DLC. I haven't got that yet. We can get dragons on it and everything. Oh, I really want it. Just saying. Alright. Oh. We need to fast travel. Yeah. I know the light keeps changing. It's a very bright game. So you'll have to forgive.
I wonder what sort of special ingredients grow here.
I should probably change this outfit, really. It's freezing outside.
Just so you know, I've got some new goods at the store.
I don't know if it's just me, but this bloody lo-fi song is out of tune or something. It's out of sync. I don't like it. I should have picked a better playlist. Damn it. Oh yeah, I'm definitely picking a different playlist. Forgive me, peeps. I will fix this bullshit.
My neighbors are fabulous.
Are these better ones?
Oh,
Let's have a
I'm
look.
so happy to see you.
I am already going to say yes, they are better. So this is what we have now. Okay, we work with this. It's good. I know everything else is quieter compared to me though, which isn't exactly ideal. think that was on the song.
Huh?
Oh, if you see
no,
Moana,
that
tell
was
her
her.
Maui
Never mind.
says you're welcome.
I legitimately thought it was on the song. I was like, why would they have random speaking in the song? They don't. I'm an idiot. Right, are we all set up again now? I hope
I'm
so.
telling you, this is the good life.
He's telling us. Okay, so where is that dude? Over there. It's killing us having all these thorns and rocks and everything everywhere. You know, I like to have a tidy ship. Or whatever the fuck you call it. Oh, is he? Oh, right there. Nope, that's a rabbit. I went past him. It's easy to do, okay? He's a rat. Ooh, you need to follow me, though.
I wonder what Jack is doing today. Ooh.
I need to level her up. I also need... I'm going to assume I already knew them. Companion, there we go. Oh, isn't that adorable? Hello, Bearded. How are you? You'll have to tell us if the sound's all skewiff. Tinkerbell Capybara. Good. I'm glad you're well. I'm not too bad. Feckin' freezing outside. Oh my goodness. Took Bella for a walk earlier and like...
Humans are amazing. They discover, they create.
So I was like...
I mean, just look at this place.
I know I should technically play Crash Bandicoot, but it's absolutely freezing. I want to put my Oodie on and I want to get proper snuggly and warm. And this just seemed like a nice snuggly game. It was this or Moria. Or Pal World. Oh, gifts. I couldn't remember why I needed to speak to him. Half the country's due snow at night. Meant to be quite bad down south. Yeah, I heard. There's an amber warning. Hi, Gee. How are you? There's an amber warning out across the country for, I think it's for the next 6 days. We're potentially going to be absolutely fucked. Fabulous.
I'm covered in white stuff and I'm all sticky. Don't like it.
No, it's not pleasant.
No rules, no responsibilities, no worries. Hakuna Matata.
I love this game. How are you, Gee? How's everything going? What one did we get today?
She played it once and it was amazing. Oh, that's right. She's got that that thing. Yeah. See, if I went to Vegas, Skip, and this goes for everybody else in chat, I would get arrested. I would get arrested.
That's not me necessarily agreeing with you. I would too. I just watched Mufasa. Oh, was it any good? Streamed late. Head hurts. Just woke up. Oh. Oh dear. Get some fluids. Maybe some pain relief of some sorts, but definitely fluids. Right. So what does he want? Sugar-free banana muffins. Oh, I'm not going to lie. They sound fucking great. Rice or a bell pepper. And they're his favourite things for today. I mean, he is a rat. Okay, so...
Do I smell rosemary?
I was going to say, you best watch what you're saying from down there, young man.
I can't run from my past forever.
You can if you're really quick. Okay. So I need to level him up as well, so I'll make a seafood platter while I'm at it. Well, what was his? Sugar-free banana muffins. I don't think I've got that recipe, you know. Where the fuck did I get all these from? Caramel apples? Halloween gingerbread? Oh, I want biscuits. Or cupcakes. How on earth? I'm gonna have to look up how to make sugar-free whatever the feck he wanted. I'm probably gonna end up vibing to these songs, just so you know. I won't sing along. I'll try my hardest. I wasn't too impressed, but the kids and the missus loved it. Oh well, that's fair. To be fair, what did you think of the live-action Lion King? Stop the energy drinks, back to black coffee and water. Good. Good. And food. Don't forget you need to at least have some form of food. Even if it's just a biscuit. Sorry, a cookie it'll be for you to go over there. Couldn't watch it, no. I was not a fan either. And for once, and this is obviously just my opinion, because I think as much as Beyonce is now going to possibly be a questionable person, bitch can sing. But not in that fucking movie. Nope. A good old-fashioned burger. Damn it, I'm hungry. What was I looking for? Some kind of seafood plattery thing. Evidently it's not in that one. Cam should be there soon. Thank you very much. I do not deserve it, but thank you. I'm gonna have to actually do my makeup properly now, because you can be able to see my face. Right, do they have... I'm sure he said seafood platter or something. Sure you do. That. Ugh. I turned off the thing where it's like, oh, you made food, because I don't give a shit. I know I made the food, I just did the thing. Right, so hand that over and then Google how to make banana muffins. Come on, he's right there, right there.
Missed me, huh?
No. I just need to boost your level, see? Boost the level.
Wow, this...
Such a smug looking little thing, isn't he? Ooh, I like the look of the light at level 8 though. That looks good. Oh, wait, we need one of them. Win scramble coin. Ooh, I'm not the best at scramble coin, I'm not gonna lie.
That was quick.
Rude.
Oh.
So, scramble coin. I think I'll just use these. So has anyone got much planned with the rest of their evening? I'm going to start with him. Because I'm literally planning on just sitting and chilling with you guys. In the nice warm Udi, because it's freezing outside. I might make a cup of coffee during the adverts. Not gonna lie. Valheim. What kind of Udi do you have? Has it got a pattern on it? I love Udis, honestly. I really want to play Valheim. I'm just sad. Ooh, a PlayStation. I should have known. We'll pop you there, Betty. Oh no, that's not him, but it is now. Bella, stop it. Making food and sorting out this song. I was up way late working on. Ooh, will you be streaming later? Gimme. It's a shame she can only move in, like, you can't put her back there. Ooh, good. I shall be there. I've been having a bit of a funky blood pressure time, so, like, me sleeping and me energy levels are terrible. For once, I'm actually sleeping too much instead of not enough. But, like, you just feel exhausted all the time. Now, is there a way? No, there's not. Buzz. Well, as it stands, I may have won. I did. Well, that was rude. I lost. There's no point in rematching that because I won't get the points. Hey, we get friendship from that? Yo, little dude.
Missed me, huh?
No. Are there any characters anyone would like to see on this thing? I'm just, like, doing my own thing and just chatting. Need vocals for these. Using socks for a stand-in. And it does not sound good. Oh, dear. Do you not have anyone local that you know that does vocals? Or any... Well, I'm sure you know loads of people that do vocals, but, like, you know. Yeah. Should we try other one? I don't know what he does. So he goes 2 that way or 2 that way. He goes anywhere. Not local. Yeah. Try these ones then. Oh, so he's got Sully, Elsa, Gaston, Stitch, and Pumbaa. Of course he has Pumbaa. Have to replace the mic in the audio booths. Oh. Do you have any of those set up on your throne? We will try him because I've never used him before. Why? Oh, I get you. You can only go. Okay. That's just irritating. Can you not continue on? No, and he leaves one behind him. Okay, I'm not a massive fan of him then. Jesus. Try her. Oh. Okay. I thought you... Never mind. I'm learning. I'm going to lose this one. Mind you, I can replace figures. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm going to lose this one. He's a good one, though. I don't want to replace him. I'm not going to get that. Not those mics. I want the insurance to pay for those. That's fair. That is fair. Never mind. Yeah, I've definitely lost this one. Ah. Dang. Ow. This isn't doing any of the tasks, obviously, which is naughty, naughty. Right, hang on. What was it? Sugar-free banana muffins or something. Muffins. Disney Dreamlight Valley. How do we make them? Really? That's it? Wheat and banana. Okay. Really? Really? Come on, lady. Banana. I should add a minion thing for that. Banana! And wheat. Well, shut up! Then what was it? A pepper and rice. They do, don't they? They don't look bad. Put some syrup over the top of them. Oh my goodness. Is she still there? Where'd Sally go? Gone again. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Oh, there you are. Excuse me, bitch.
So strange.
That was quick.
That was rude. Right, need to go get other stuff. This is my house. It's pretty. Right. Well, I don't even think I've got them in the house, actually. So that was waste time. Where do I grow rice and peppers? I'm pretty sure they grow in a similar place. I tell all the ladies the same thing. They look nice. Well, at least you're polite. Not what I wanted, but while I'm at it. This one. Ha. Rice. No reason not to be polite. I agree. Right, peppers. Can't remember where the peppers are. I hate having all these thorns everywhere, but But you've got to do it. When you've got an event on, you have to keep them. Because you can guarantee when you get rid of them, the next thing's going to be like, pick a bunch of thorns. And you're like, go fuck yourself. Woohoo! Bring a robot his favourite gifts. It's always the same with these people. So the next reward I'm wanting is this bunny. Because look at it. It's so cute. It's got icicles on its horns and everything. Anomaly, hello. How are you? I went to sing along on that one. That would have been dangerous, wouldn't it? I'm like, mute your speakers. 1 second. I just need to blink.
Think I should do? You think I should go true start huge or true start regular? It basically puts me like in the spot of the capital of whatever civilization I'm using.
You're welcome.
I should probably.
We also have ads starting in about 30 seconds. And I may take this opportunity. Well, the opportunity when the ads start to make a cup of coffee. Or tea. Actually, I want tea. How are you doing? How's it going? I don't know why I had to do that, but yeah. Ooh, peppers. Right. I knew I'd find them. Split. Mine. I'm hungover after an 8-hour stream. Oof. I would have popped in and said hi, but it turns out I was dead to the world. I had the notification on my phone when I woke up in the morning.
I think I'll read a little before bed.
I say that, and then I spend 3 hours doom scrolling TikTok. Anyway. Right. Where's the rat? There it is. He's such a cool dude.
You know, this village ain't half bad.
Where's the rat? Huh. The ads have begun. So, if you will permit me, I will be right back with a cup of coffee. I'll leave you on the be right back screen though. See you soon. Hi. Thank you for patiently waiting. Everyone but Bearded. Right. How's it doing? Rat. He's gone. Aha. Rat. God damn. Oh. Hi, G. How are you? No. Hang on, I should say. Just got home from Papa G's birthday. Oh, was it a good one? Did you have fun?
I have retrieved the spike.
Good thing that's like
Taken down.
No scope, yes, but sweet.
Clip it!
This can actually clip it.
that gun was fucking loud. It was alright. Good. Anomaly. Hello. Right, the rat's moved again, hasn't it? Honestly. I know it's my own fault. I keep getting distracted. Is that it? Nope, it's a squirrel. Close enough, though. But I just came from this way. Oh my goodness.
You're always
Really, he's
welcome at
hiding
my
in a
restaurant.
flower. He's hiding in a flower.
Hey, it's you!
Right. One. Have you got much planned with the rest of your night now you're home? What the fuck Disney song's this? No plans. No. Well, you can just hang out with us until you think of something to do. We are going to be chilling. Now, the beginning of this song sounds really like cutesy, sort of, but can you imagine a completely dark room? Or like a dark alleyway or something, and that's all you hear? It's like the whole kids laughing thing. It's like, oh, the sound of kids laughing is lovely. Until you're home alone in the pitch black and you don't have children. Right, is that all of them? Yes, good. Fuck off. Respectfully.
Hope to see you soon.
Where's the robot? Where's Wally? I used to play that as a kid. I've still probably got quite a few Where's Wally books. Different Wally, though. Where are you? Anyone see him pop up? I don't see him. Maybe he's in the other place. I know the light keeps fluctuating on the camera, which is probably really fun for everyone, but this game gets fucking bright. Oh, there it is.
Wally.
Right, so he wants a shiny ruby, ochre, and blue marsh milkweed. They have strange ideas of what's a cool present. But, who am I to judge? Bye! Ooh, I'm sure that was one of our... Yeah. Nope, wrong button. Fuck off! Use it. It's been a while since I played this, can you tell? I know I hide it really well. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Money. Is that gold? Close enough. Right. What do I need? Ruby. I know that one. I remember the shiny ruby. And that I get in the house. Welcome. This is my stuff. No, it was a square one he wanted. However, I will deposit my sheet. Do I have a shiny? I don't think I have a shiny ruby. Did he want a shiny ruby or a normal ruby? Wrong way, wrong way. That way. Yes, I could have done it this way earlier. Shush. Ah, there we go. Shiny ruby. Fuck. Okra and a blue marsh milkweed. Well, I can at least get the milkweed. And then... where the feck do I find shiny rubies? And the mines are in Dazzle Beach. Well, we'll go to the mines. The mines of Moria. No. That was the other option for the night, though. Milkweeds. Blue marsh milkweed. Split. One. Mine. Oh no, I'm trapped. Let me out. Excuse me. Let me the fuck out. Thank you. Jesus. Do you think I want to be stuck in there? I've got stuff to drop off, haven't I? What the feck's that then? Oh, iron. It can go in there. It's fine. Oh, or in there. Never mind. I knew that. Oh my goodness. Sing song. No. Maybe. I won't tell anyone that you're singing along at home, even though I know you are. Especially G. Right, we've got the milkweed. We need to go and get the shiny. And what the hell was the other thing? Okra. Nothing. Hi, Pandy. How are you? Do the whole. It's not working. How dare it? Unacceptable. How are you, lovely lady? I should probably make some mining oil. I lip every time I use that one.
I hope Boo's doing okay.
I do as well normally. Like if I'm typing in a chat and I use it, I'll be like. We can't make it. Why not? Because I need more of them. God damn it. Fine. Fine. I'm alive. Boyfriend's birthday, so we're gonna have some people over. Ooh. Well, enjoy the birthday. Is he? I hope he's feeling better. I'm glad you're alive. I'm very glad you're alive. And I hope you just have a wonderful evening. Thank you for the look. I appreciate you very, very much. Little stuffy, but not a fever anymore. Good. That is good. Improvement. We like it. I keep pressing the wrong goddamn button. I feel like the screen has zoomed in. So what's everyone's favourite Disney? Come on. Tell me. Mine is Beauty and the Beast. It used to be Sleeping Beauty. But no, Beauty and the Beast for the win. Also explains a lot. Ooh. Treasure Planet. Have you heard they're doing a live action of that? I don't know how I feel about that information. It'll either be brill or absolutely fucking horrific. I know which one I think it'll be. Or Atlantis, yeah. Live action of that one potentially too. They just ain't leaving them the fuck alone and make new movies. Stop trying to live action ones or make like... Yeah, just no remakes. Just make new movies. They're remaking Labyrinth. They're remaking Labyrinth. It's not going to be the same. Pessimistically optimistic. Sounds about right, yeah. I'm just straight up like, it's going to be shit. Excuse me. Like, I didn't watch the live action. I think the last live action remake that I watched was actually Beauty and the Beast because I quite like that one, not gonna lie. But didn't watch Mermaid. I caught some of the Aladdin that the remade. But, as Cogsworth would say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, at least we did something out of that. Did we get a shiny ruby? Oh, please be shiny. You bitch. Should have enough crystals to make some oil for the doodad now. The pickaxe. So then when I come back in, should be able to get a shiny ruby. Check my tea. Oh, that's good. Gotta love a good cup of tea. Right. Do. Nope. That one. Two more. I would have had honey in it, but we've run out of honey. I know. Oh, that was the wrong fucking elixir. You daft bint. That's what I wanted. God damn. Well, I can insta-grow some plants now. Yeah, we ran out of honey though. Sad times. Oh, I can't remember how long you gotta wait. What were the other tasks? Nope, wrong way. That bunny's so cute. Right, done that. Go fish. Okay.
This valley is swell.
Thanks. Woohoo! Oh, and we did that one. Yeah. Right, so now go fish somewhere peaceful and cook any 4-star meals. I can do that. Any 4-star meal. Are there any of these that are 4-star that I need? I mean, I suppose 5-star will work. What ones of them do I need though? I might as well get them good. Oh no, I need the ginger. Will you stop it? Yes, I know it's me. Sure. Right, so we need 10. 1. 3, 4, 5. Oh, run out of eggs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah. Enter a dream snap contest. I think I've done it. I will double check. Have you seen this? Have you seen? One of the things you can buy. Oh wow, you need to zoom the fuck out. What the fuck? Cyber! Hello, lovely. How are you? Have you had something to eat? That one I don't, surprisingly. That one I do not own because I was like, I draw the line. It having a tail sticking out your behind. Yes, I have it. Good. Good, 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 good. Right, I am sure I have done a dream snap though. I have not. Okay, so we need to do a New Year's dream snap. I'm good, thank you. I am not too bad. It's absolutely brass bollocks and monkeys outside. And we took the dog for a walk, and, like, the dog nearly froze. So, I mean, she didn't really have her wrapped up. For God's sake. Have you met me? She has jumpers and booties and special pants for when it snows and everything. Yes, I'm one of them dog owners. Accept it. It's not snowing yet, no, but it is ice everywhere. So I was like, with it being fucking cold, and I don't really fancy losing my shit on Crash Bandicoot tonight, I'ma go cozy, and I'ma go Disney, and I'ma get my Udi on, and I got my cup of tea, and just like, fuck yeah, bitches.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh my fucking god!
I'm sure that's one that popped up the other day. It's like the North Pole here. Oh, you've got snow, have you? I don't mind snow. It's when it turns to slush that it annoys. Wow, that was easy for me to say. I thought it was. Right, so we need to do a New Year's Eve celebration picture. Okay. Let's go to the celebration room. Oh my god. Just 2 squirrels appear out of nowhere. So me and Amy have had to raid the cupboards because we were like, oh, it's not that cold, like proper northern. Oh, it's not that cold. I just go out in a pair of leggings and a hoodie and me jacket, and I could not feel my hands. The water bottle I took out with us started to freeze by the time we came back. So, and like I had me hat on, but it's a crocheted hat, so it's obviously got holes in it. So it's like, right, okay, we're getting the thermals out, cause fuck that. What am I doing again? Room. Which floor is it on? You're not gonna know that. I don't even know that. I think it's this one. This looks like the useless floor. Yep, useless floor. Let's go. Now, we need to change our wardrobe. Dream snap. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Oh. Because normally it has a little filter that says, this is what you should wear for what the fuck ever. Like it does here. Dream snap. Because nothing says New Year like monster mug rack. Or a child drawing. I feel like we have a different New Year view. So cute, playful, delicate, and familiar. Pumpkins. New Year pumpkins. Fucking A. Yeah, I can't really put kites indoors. I've got balloons. Do you remember the New Year Easter eggs? Did you have your New Year Easter egg? Or a New Year snowman? Yeah, okay. I mean, the rug's quite... I'd have that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd have that. I would just bang it there. I do love these lanterns though. And they're just so pretty. Oh, you've got to love your... You know what, balloons. Oh, it's not central to the door. Nope, hit it. They have taken pity on us in this game though, because it used to really, like, really piss us off. Because you'd have things like this, and you'd only be able to have them, like, you couldn't do diagonal, so you'd be able to have it that way or that way. Just straight up. Couldn't do diagonal or nothing, but they've took pity on us. So you can just have them any direction that you want. Which actually I may utilise. Should I move the DJ booth? Probably not. Oh, don't forget your snotty tissues. Snotty tissues. And a fruit stand. They know how to celebrate New Year. I have been living a sheltered life. Snotty rags. Ice cream stands. Oh, the fucking massive telly on wheels. That takes us back. Snow globe. When did I get that? Ooh. I'm sure that the furniture we've got is fine. Because I have a lot of furniture. And flooring. I've got that much for wallpaper and flooring that in the shop every day they're meant to change it and you can get like a new selection. Specifically at the back there's wallpapers of it. I have not been able to buy anything new since last year. It's like, chip. Right, cute, playful. Cute, playful. Filters. Playful. Cute. That'll do. Okay, so you're meant to be New Year's-y. Oh, because nothing says New Year's like mermaid pants. Ooh, rather. Alright. Yes, you're going to have to enjoy this show. Because I'm going to do my thing. They're kind of New Year's-y. No. I find this thing disturbing. I mean, the same mini dress, it's a top. Because, like, it's Happy Valentine's Day if she so much as, like, flinches. Precisely. No. Woo! Ah, that looks quite New Year's-y. Not the dress, I mean the headpiece. I want this. I want that. I want that so bad. And the Spiral of Dragon one. I'm gonna get it, you know. And then I'm going to have a time where we play Spyro the Dragon, and I will only wear the Spyro the Dragon onesie while we play it. Because I'm a sad bastard. Oh god, get rid of the... Oh. I thought it had gone. Put something else on. There, that'll do. Jesus. We're also getting rid of that skirt, because no. Oh, I could have just done that. Oh well, never mind. I know. Is it on here though? That's the thing. We can hope. Oh, it's not what? No, that's not acceptable. Don't care. Go away. Right, I think it'll class as blue. Now, they can't tell me this isn't going to be playful and cute. Bear with me. Right. Now we need to change the pants. Go back up, go back up. I might do purple. What do you think? Do you wanna build a snowman? God, they need to decide what they're doing because that noise is doing my ears in. Fuck off, Anna. Okay, bye. Well, you your gums out. I'm looking for the purple ones. Where are they? Right, purple shorts. No, no design. So we're going purple. I don't like it. No. I need to change your socks. I know. Really? That's all you give me? Kind of bullshit. Nope. Nope. Definitely not. I've lost our top. Bollocks. Oh, there. I'm limited here. Oh, right, you can get rid of that now. I don't know what that high-pitched noise in the background is when I zoom in, but go away. No. Do you wanna do some blow, man? Okay. Bye. Clipped. Damn. Oh, that's a choice. That's a choice. I need to change colours. No. Clipped. Bollocks. Still need to change colours. No. Oh, look, glasses. Oh, done. Blue. Blue. Oh yeah, socks. Daft bitch. So we have thigh high, we have knee high, we have non-existent. You go none. Right, that should potentially have enough on there for them to be like, yeah, that looks pretty New Year'sy. Ooh, no. No. I mean, that's pretty New Year'sy. Mr. Isle. I want. I forget these things. If you send me the link, I can post it in my Discord if you're not already in my Discord. I think you are, though. I don't know. Because I try and post, like, all clips. Oh, well, yeah, I can just get it at the end of the thing. I just download them, like, edit the thing so you can do the TikTok version, download them, and then post them in my Discord. I forgot what I was doing. Gotcha. Thanks. I kind of like them boots, I'm not going to lie. I would have worn that outfit. I say would have. I would still wear that outfit. Maybe it's not the shorts, though, because, like, I mean, that... We've just zoomed in on her ass now. I would. What? You would wear that outfit? I think you'd pull it off. Aren't they amazing? I would wear that. Not with the short shorts, though. We are not. We do not have the body for booty shorts. 100% everything else, though. Yes. Right. There's Sally here. Come on, you lanky bitch. Who the fuck am I looking at? How tall is this woman? Jesus. There's a young lady that wears the short shorts and boots with the fur. There is, and everyone is looking at her. Right, so we do it. Oh no, it's doing the annoying thing again. Haha. Oh my god, it looks like I'm trying to cup a hoo-ha. Nope. Let's not do that. What the fuck are you doing? This is why you don't have any friends. Jesus. Thought she wore the apple bottom jeans. She just walks all over town in the middle of the road. Fair. I mean, that's definitely one way to get attention. Oh, great. Now I'm just straight up staring at that chest. It's been a while for this character, okay? Maybe you should face this way. That's a bit better. Yeah, we're not directly ogling a dead woman's chest. Fuck, I'm old. Same. Do you know what? I think she should possibly just be the DJ, because I don't trust her near another person right now. I can't get in there. I knew that. Show me. Ooh, they went pixelated. Get. Really? Really? I could fit through there. She does try to poison people. I can relate to that. Oh, to be young. Hey, will you fit in now? Yeah. Damn. For the purpose of any form of FBI tape, I'm joking. I don't try and poison people. I successfully do it. No. I'm going to get myself arrested one day just because I think I'm funny. That's a joke. I know I'm funny. Funny, look. Right. Are you done now? Poison is a young person's game. Who's got time to wait for it to take effect? It depends how fucking annoyed you are at the person, I suppose. Right, walk back a little bit. Oh, now it's too far. Of course it is. Because why would it not? But, all this for an apparent New Year's photo that I'm not even gonna like. I can guarantee. One person on the dance floor. Woo! And this is when I'll get all the way through all this shite. Trying to make it all like, yeah, New Year. And they'll be like, oh, sorry, you don't have the adequate stuff. And I'll just be like, go fuck yourself. I love this song. I want to sing along. Is that the one I want? There's one of them that has like a rainbow effect. And I'm just clearly not finding it, so whatever. Right. Ready. Right. Yes! Good morning, Belle. Moving on. Here goes the crackhead that I see each morning. That's what we sing. Serve some hungry customers. No. I'm now stuck there. That's too expensive. They've done him a little bit dirty, you know. When you talk to him, see if he does it. I mean, there's that. But at one point he goes, ha ha! And you're like, excuse me? Excuse me. See that? Total Gaston. Total 100%, yep. Ah, right. No. 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 Stop making me look like a liar and do it. Oh, we have his hairstyle. Nice. Do the squeak. I feel like I do the roar. You're just gonna be a dick, aren't you? Yep. You lie! No, I don't. They lie. Yes, 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 whatever. Told you. Yeah, that's all I need for a buy. He's a proper bipolar little motherfucker, him. Hi. You okay there, bud? Why am I giving him gingerbread? Fuck yeah, it's my gingerbread house. If anyone wants to know what they're saying, I can paraphrase it. I'm not going to say it's accurate. That duck has no pants. I know. Yet when he gets out the shower, he wears a towel. Way down deep inside, I got a dream. Alright, what else do we need to do? Robot, fuck. Feed 6 people. We'll see how many's in the restaurant, and then I'll look up what he wants. Oh, shiny ruby. Yeah, cause, It's alright, the memories do start clicking back in place eventually. I want some tea. Doesn't Stitch look fucking adorable? Oh my goodness. Cuteness aggression is a real thing. There were some words. So basically what he said was like, oh gee, thanks. Just a really long-winded version. I'm sure there was more people in here before, you know. What do you want? I'm so good at this game. Eggplant puffs. And with every passing hour, I'm so glad I left my tower. She's clearly not a grown-up because I would hate leaving my tower. I do hate leaving my tower. Because there's like people. Oh, you meant me. Oh, sorry. Probably the same thing, in all fairness. Do you mean when I was on about Stitch? Because I said, he's so fucking cute. Cuteness aggression is a real thing. Or something along those lines. Right, let's go get the stupid robot, you stupid shiny fucking diamond. Fuck. Ow. We've got God of War tomorrow, though. I'm quite excited. Are you entertained?
Being here is almost as good as playtime.
I didn't even fucking see you, and that sounded dodgy as fuck. It's almost as good as playtime. Yeah, God of War tomorrow. I'm gonna get kicked to shit. Okay, let's go. Oh, is that a shiny? Fuck. No. Balls. Oh, that looked shiny. Stop pressing the wrong button, motherfucker. But it wasn't. Just mean this, you know. Do, 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 do. Sound like the mine was going to collapse on my head. You're not that lucky. Do, 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 do. Oh, I missed one. Don't make dodgy noises like that. I don't like it. It's unnecessary. Have I missed one again? No. Getting pretty dizzy off all this spinning, oh Jesus. Oh, has anyone in chat, probably not, but I'm going to ask anyway, has anyone seen Wicked? The movie? If you've seen the stage show as well, then good for you, jammy bugger. I just got socks. Oh. Did you like it? I liked it. Thank you. Goose. Goose. It was goose, yeah. I have not. I was not impressed by the cast. I was kind of the same. I was like, not the woman that plays Elphaba, because that woman has some fucking lungs. Like, she can sing. Oh, so good. But I was a bit skeptical about Grande. Sadly, I've watched it, and because you can tell she just has such a dry humour, kind of like her. I don't agree with the fact she steals pregnant women's husbands and stuff. That's no. But she is blatantly quite sarcastic, which means I'd probably get on with her, which I'm not comfortable with that information. But outside of that, oh, she is so skinny. It's a little bit concerning. But everyone's body type's different, I suppose. We're just used to seeing her with more weight. But, like, yeah. I watched it with Amy, and she was like, hang on a minute. So the Wicked Witch wasn't a Wicked Witch. So all these years I've been like, yeah, at the murder of an innocent woman. Like, kind of looks that way. Yep. But her rendition of Defying Gravity was like, oh, yes. Loved it. Because that lady can sing. Granted, not so much when she had to do the high-pitched, like, opera stuff. I did not understand a word that was coming out of her mouth. It was like a reverse screamo. It's like, yes, it's impressive that you hit those notes, darling. But what? What did you say? What am I doing? Pickaxe oil. Right, pickaxe oil this time. Not that it was any of your fault that I did not do the pickaxe oil. Right, this one. Pickaxe. Good. And I didn't see the appeal of the Munchkin man. Because obviously on that movie's where they've met. And where she's been like, oh, you married with a baby on the way? That's okay. Because I'm Grande. I don't see the appeal. But that's just me. Wrong way. Didn't think I would like her in the film, but she does really fit the role. Yeah. But I don't generally, like, obviously I don't know how to like or dislike her in general, but from the persona that you see through the public and whatnot, and the media, I wouldn't have said I was a big fan. Sadly, I do get the feeling if we were to ever converse, I'd find her quite humorous, because she clearly... It's just the way that the way that things landed when she was doing them in the movie, and the complete dead look on her face when she was doing them, like, oh, I'd end up friends with her. Not as Glinda, because, like, fuck that. I know what I mean. But the woman that plays Alphabet just... wow. Yep. I like how I put magic oil on the fucking pickaxe, which is now worn off. That was helpful. And I still haven't got a shiny fucking ruby. It's ridiculous. Oh no, the ads... Oh wait, the ads are starting in a minute. I thought the ads had already started. It's fine if they start in a minute as well, by the way. Just in case anyone was about to snooze them. It's okay. They can go through. I wonder if in the... because you know how it's in 2 parts. I wonder if in the second part it's basically going to do, like, the Wizard of Oz, but from her point of view. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Because we know how it ends. She has a bath. Ads are starting in a second. There's a book series. Ooh. Is it sort of like the, you know, the evil Disney book series? Apparently it's quite a dark series, so it doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. Right, we're gonna go do some fishing somewhere else, because evidently I ain't getting this goddamn shiny ruby. Have a sip of tea to condone myself. Console myself, not condone. I know what I mean. Tea. Okay, so. Peaceful meadow. Ouch. Take a picture, find a time bending core, win, feed a raven, plant 5 vegetables, decorate forest and fallow. I mean, technically I can do the picture now. You just go boom, boom, whee, go away. What are her favourite gifts?
That was quick.
The ads have begun. Oh, it's all plants. I can do that. My kind of girl. All plants. Hey G, do you wanna do some blowman? It doesn't have to be the blowman. Okay, bye. Flowers. I'm gonna get stuck in this fucking room again, aren't I? Are you in this one? No. Ha, you're in this one. If I have it. Was this the I think this was the colour. What was the other one? In your own time. Orange bird of paradise, orange milkweed, orange. Orange? Was it an orange thing I picked up? Yes. Orange milkweed. Nope, that's orange and red. Orange. Yo!
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How wonderful.
Now this one.
Oh. Oh.
Welcome back from the ads. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you greatly because I hate ads. So, yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Right. Her last one and then go fish.
Ooh. Huh.
And at least give Wally a couple of the gifts. Because it's better than now, innit? Have a daily conversation. Does the rain bother you? Nope, not at all.
Oh.
I find that surprising because she's made of like our stuffing's like leaves and stuff. See? See? Remove. You're welcome. Right, let me out. No.
Welcome.
No. Escape. Oh, oh, I saw it. Come on, motherfucker. Let me out. Haha. Okay. Peaceful meadow. I don't like Maui. Just putting it out there. Not a fan. And not just because he's played by Dwayne "Dadoosh" Johnson. But that probably adds to it. Alright, so we need 15 times? Yep, 15 times. I missed. Do you know what book series I really want to start reading again? And I've got so many on my to be read pile, I really shouldn't read a one I've already read before. That was a lot of read-reads in a sentence. Anyway, Throne of Glass. I've got an urge. I have a Throne of Glass urge. And then as soon as I've read Throne of Glass, I'm going to want to read ACOTAR again. And then once I've read ACOTAR, I'm going to have to read the other series, which I can never remember the name of. I think it's Crescent City. Because I never actually finished that one, because I was like, eh. And then I'm never going to get around to reading the books on me to be read pile, because that's at least 20 books right there. I'm going to do it. Bella, stop it. All I can hear is her chomping on her bloody nails through me gloves. Headphones. Gloves? $15 seems like such a small number until you haven't to fish or do anything on a game 15 times. Then it's like, oh my god. Just me. Ow, ow. Oh, yeah. I don't know why that just popped in my head right now. I've gone into Wisteria as well. That's really helpful. Whew. There we go. I'm back. I'm back in the room. So what day of the year are we on to now? We're on to the 4th day of 2025. And from what I've heard, Guy, you may be able to back this up or tell me that this is wrong information. But there's been like 3 major incidents in America. There was a man drove through a crowd in New Orleans on New Year's Day. There's been a shooting in, I think it was in Manhattan actually. And then there was the one in Vegas where they blew up a Tesla in front of Trump's building. It's like, we're only 4 days in, people. Can you not save some of the crazy for later when we get bored? We've just came through 2024. Like, breathe, fucker, breathe. It's okay. And for God's sake, we went through that much in 2024. They told us there were aliens and we're all like, eh. Like, we have documented proof of aliens, okay. But yeah, 4 days in. That dress is absolutely beautiful. Can you see it? The 110. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. How many have we got left? 3. Eh.
The villagers are depending on you, my friend, so never give up.
I know it's probably a really fun thing to just hear me rabbit about briefly, but it just popped into my head, so I thought I'd share. Do, 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 do. Finally. Right. Chat with a feathery fashionista. Oh, it's Daisy Duck. I don't like Daisy Duck. God damn it. Where's the robot? Right, need to talk to the rat. It's in his house. And I'm gonna say the robot's at his house. I feel like I probably need to keep some of them, but I don't care. It's fine. Don't worry, America's a big place. They got plenty crazy to see them through the air. I know, but it spills over into us. And then it's just concerning because I know people in America. Why did I go in there? Because I know people in America and it's like, be safe, please. If you don't mind. It's getting a bit crazy. And this is precisely why we're not allowed guns. Oh, okay. Caramel apples and pickled herring. Because I went in the wrong room again, but there we go. Caramel apples. I know we need to make more than just these, but we're just doing these for now. And pickled herring because... Ugh. You big nasty. Here's your food, you weirdo.
Bonjour.
They redid her because when she first came into the game, she was done dirty.
Hello.
It was bad. Hello. Right, now into Remy's house where I was meant to go in the first place. Hi, Griffin. If this rat isn't in his house. Oh, you're lucky.
Excuse me, but I could use a human's help.
They're apology desserts. For when he loses his temper.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Ow. We a tiny place. We got plenty crazy of our own. That we flipping well do.
Living like
Yeah.
a king here.
You alright there, Griffin? You okay? Hmm? That was a big yawn.
I hope Donald isn't giving you too much trouble. Mm-hmm.
Right, spoke
Don't
to
be a
her once.
stranger.
Can't do that again until tomorrow. Ow. What else do we need to do? Robot, 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 robot. Do not jump onto the table. Don't backchat me either. He's eyeballing my cup of tea. Fuck off. My tea, not yours. Mine. Mine. Hello. No, it's my tea, not your tea. Griffin, what are you doing? You want a bubble? Go get the bubble. Don't take the wires with you. What are you doing? Just so you know, I'm not talking to myself. It's a Griffin. Say hi. Hi, Griffin. You gonna go now? Hmm? Aww. Give everybody some love. Hmm? You're such a pretty kitty. Griffin. Isn't he just adorable? Griffin. Oh, he says hello. He's watching the capybara on the telly. Can you hear him purring, by the way? If I turn this down, can we hear him purring? You're a pretty kitty. Yeah. Can I put you down now? Hmm? You're not killing them. You go that way. No! I should have saw that coming. Did we hear him purr? I hope we did. I'll find out when I do the VOD. Right, robot. Wrong robot. Haha! Oh wow, that was loud, sorry. God damn. Robot! You can fly! Okay, so then we have do my duties. Harvest dates, change your outfit. I want your outfit. 2-star or better, mine 4 rock, catch seafood and sell some fish. Bet. Griffin has gone back into his bed now. He is still eyeballing the frickin' animals on the screen though. No, don't even think about it. Does this count? No. That will though. Hello, Mr. Maxwell. How are you? Oh, magpie's up. I didn't notice that. Harold! How are you? Welcome in. And I'm just loading up magpie. Is there anybody else that's on that I should have loaded in? Didn't know you were streaming. That's okay. That's not a problem. How are you both doing? I'm good. About to start playing Marvel Rivals with the eldest. Ooh, I have that. I've not played it yet, though. What character do you think you're going to be? You're everyone's favorite guy. I'm sure it comes out the rocks, you know, and not a person.
Run! Run!
Oh, see, there's Harold saying hello to everybody that he can see, because he's just a nice person, and he's bloody lovely. I'm sorry. I play Mantis and Moon Knight mostly. Ooh. Oh my God. I know Mantis is a healer. Is Moon Knight a healer, or is Moon Knight more like a DPS or tank? God,
I'm sorry, yes, that's good. 14 is good.
Yeah.
19! You know it, baby. You know you want it.
Come. Let me taste.
Oh, God.
That look. She's not happy.
Lae'zel's like... She would terrify me. As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating. Moon Knight needs nerfed. Not if Harold's the one playing it. It makes perfect sense in roleplay. What, Lae'zel? I feel like this is Lae'zel's song. No one fights like Lae'zel. No one punches out somebody's lights like Lae'zel.
Meeting someone like you gives me hope.
Oh, you're doomed then. Doomed. Meeting someone like you gives me hope. Shouldn't. Right. Dates. Mine rocks. Trying to avoid the cooking bit, because there's one thing about Dreamlight: when you do the cooking, it really, really, really makes you hungry. Hi. Yeah. Give me the pebbles, because bitches love shiny rocks. It's true. It's true. These aren't what I'm meant to be looking for. Lae'zel is the dommy mommy to my cowardly Harold. That's fair. See, the dommy mommy I would have went for is the Karlach. Even as a straight woman, Karlach's kind of like, hello. She's no Halson though. God damn. That one. Right, looking. That's what I want. Who's your favourite character, Harold? Or maybe it's your favourite companion to take along. I love Baldur's Gate. Love it. I don't want to change my outfit though, I look fabulous. I'll change the headpiece. And oh goodness, no. we go for them horns? Or... Them ones. We should go for them ones, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should. Thanks. Prepare a 2-star meal or better. That's easily done. Hello. I can't remember what the dates are. In real life as well. No. Up. Turning red. I never watched that, surprisingly. I should have, though. It's a red panda. Sell 2 fish. Do we have... Yes, we do. Easy. Easy answer there. I expect he will be getting one. Yeah, they normally do that, don't they? I was going to try Squirrel Girl. Just for the hell of it. Or Groot, because I fucking love Groot. There's a bunch that I see getting rebalanced. Oh. I mean, I say, oh. I'm shite at games like that, so it's probably for the best, really. Sell. Yep, sell them, sell that. Sell them. Sell them, sell that, sell that. I should probably keep... Oh, no, no, no. Sell them. That should do. Yep, thanks. Okay. How many do we need? 3 more.
I can't believe I found Simba.
Are these dates?
And he's alive.
No. Oh, that made me nauseous. Oh. Oh, what are you? Oh, that's paprika, isn't it? Well, it's going to turn into paprika. Quite a lot of paprika. Oh, one thing though. Hang on. We go on that one. We go on this one. We go this. And then we fly. Pandy says to Harold. Well, actually, she said. That was terrible. I should never do that again. I will do it again. But I should never do it again.
It's so good to see you.
Wee! You're fabulous!
There's a lot about
Fucking
that.
shit at flying. Excuse me. Learner, coming through. Thank you. Right. Dates. I don't think any of these are dates. They don't look very datey. They're strawberries. I can't even remember what they bloody well look like. Foraging. Nope. Nope. Fine. Screw you! Almonds. Dates, yes. Where? The plains. Where are we? Not the plains. Okay.
Don't forget, I'm here to help.
Don't forget, I'm not.
I happen to be the world's most powerful wizard.
Are these dates? Yes. Harvest 5 vegetables. Hang out with Gaston for 5 minutes. Sell 5 fruit. Catch 3 seafood. 4 rock spots in the glittering dune. Well, surely if I harvest this, I can sell it. And then put through. If you
Hey there!
believing.
Whoa!
Did that count? Yeah, it did.
Long.
Feed a capybara. Do I have cabbages? No. Well, that needs to change. I love capybaras. They are so adorable. Do 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 do. Are you streaming when you play Rivals later? Do 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 do. A fucking bumblestone. The fuck is a bumblestone? One more dreamlight thingy, and we just need one more rock. Doodah. Mining spot. Of life. Wherever I roam. Oh, there we go. Right, and then we'll go along to the event, and we've done that one. Get rid of 30 of the forgetting. See, what I tell you, this is why we don't get rid of the spikes or the... Evidently we get rid of the fucking words. Come on, bitch. Thorns. That's why we don't get rid of them. That's all I was trying to say. Bear. Oh, I was at the wrong bit. How's the PS? So far, everything seems to be fine. I seem to have recovered all my save data because I've got it thankfully set to auto upload. So it doesn't seem that anything's bad. Eva! Yeah. Eva. Oh yeah, thorns. Stupid. I don't know what happened though, because the internet was working on everything else. Just not the PlayStation. Wouldn't have none of it. Wouldn't connect, it was saying it couldn't find an IP, like, all sorts. Wouldn't load up, couldn't get back onto the home screen, nothing. I honestly thought it had fully killed it, and I was rather emotional. Well, I was on the cusp of being emotional. And by that I mean shouting. I wasn't... Well, I've got nothing else to watch it on. But no, I wasn't. I was watching a movie on Plex.
This is truly the perfect place to
Well, I was trying to. The movie works fine on my phone. Works fine on the laptop. Does not work on the PlayStation. Kills the PlayStation. I literally get a screen with a pink bar across the bottom and a white bar across the top, and nothing. I mean, clearly I'm just not meant to watch the last Indiana Jones. Because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Video codecs the PS doesn't recognise. Sounds like it anyway. Yeah, it does it on the odd one. Like, on the odd thing that I watch on there, it'll be like, no. Watching The Witcher XXX, if only. Jesus. I think everyone would be. More thorns. Especially if it was Monsieur Kettle. Mr. Batwell, send it my way. See? See? Told you. Geralt is a universal thing. Cavill Geralt is just... like deity level. I'll never be that attractive. Jesus. I don't know anybody that could be. It's like Jensen Ackles. And his wife, though. His wife is ridiculously beautiful. Thorns. There's some more over here. Exactly, bearded doors. Who wouldn't? Exactly. It's fucking Henry Cavill, for God's sake. Nope, wrong. How many more do we need? 4. I've been getting the urge to play Kingdom Hearts again as well. I'm not sure what you meant to... Oh, okay, so you meant to put some sticks in there. Fine. Have the sticks. So 4 sticks.
No rules, no responsibility.
There's a bit of paper that tells us what I need to put in there. Hold up. Collection. No. Memories? Maybe? Ah, there. Right. Do you mind? Right. Daffodils and cloth. And then cloth, green flowers, and a carrot. I can do that. Cruella. Did we do that yet? Yes. Pickaxe for Peridot. Where the fuck do I find Peridot? Or Peridot, depends on how you want to pronounce it. But after time has worn away the shock, Peaceful meadow, dazzle beach, grasslands, and promenade. Watching you from underneath the rock. Burp, burp. Oh wait, that's a house. I can go in there. No, I can't. No, not the same house. My bad.
Don't forget, I'm here to help.
Let's see what I can do. You're a good egg. Fucking meow. Move. Do you know what it is? I've been collecting these and I haven't even looked to see if I've got enough points for the rabbit yet. So we need fabric and daffodils? Was it daffodils? I think it was daffodils. More stuff. Yes, I'm probably going to do that every time. Boop, boop. How many? I'll just take 50. Because I don't know. And what? Fabric. Oh, here we go. Oh, it let me out. Oh. Try and make me look like a fucking liar. What else do I have? Yeah. I can't remember where I've put those little glass bits. Nope. Let me see the box. Ah. Okay. Now what I want to do. That's a new rock, so that can go in there. That shouldn't be a new rock, but there we go. Pebbles, pebble, 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 pebble. Onward! I couldn't remember where we were going. Do, 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 do. Hi, Griffin. Da, 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 da. Will you? God, that is loud. No, fuck off. Don't have time for you. I'm making a snowman. Oh. What? Can I change the way he's facing? Because that's weird. I can. Where do I put it? Ah. He can pull the sleigh. Right, so then what was the next bit? Oh, well, more fabric. Carrots. I can't remember what the other bit was. Drip, drip, drop. Little lake rolls showers. Green. Green, 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 green. Do, 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 do. I don't really want to pick them from there though, do I? We'll go back to the house. I went the wrong one. Damn it!
Gee, everyone around here is so
I think Bambi was probably one of my favourite films growing up. Just the music in it. Obviously, we know it's not my favourite Disney because I mentioned that before. Oh, speaking of, anyone else that's currently in chat and wasn't here when I asked the question before, what is your favourite Disney movie? Inquiring minds want to know. Basically, I want to know. Tell me. Green, one of those. Shouldn't need more than 6. I hope. Right, we'll put the daisy back. Or the daffodils even. Do, do, do. Come on, let me go. Should we put this fish? Right, Christmas fish. Which one will a Christmas fish be in? Probably not that one. Will it be this one? It is now. That thing is like bizarre. I'm sure it's got a lovely personality. Come on. Right. 'Cause I want to build a snowman. Let's build a motherfucking snowman. Excuse me, coming through, thank you. Oh, literally 6? Or I need more than 6. You bastard. I knew I should have got more. I knew it, I knew it. They won't want more than 6, I said I was wrong. No, I'm just going to take the entire 50. Excuse me. Hey, oh, fuck. Up, up, hey. I know this has nothing to do with what I was meant to be doing, but, like, live with it. I feel like if you hear enough, you've come to expect this kind of gameplay from me now. You know, whole like, ooh, squirrel business. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, this is like a cool version, isn't it? Yes. I know I hide it well. But how many do I need? Oh, now I've got to go and look at the paper. God damn it. It won't just take what it needs. No, 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 no. I have to be precise. So it wants 10 flowers. And it only wants 1 carrot, so shut up. Right. Split. 4. There. Hey, I made a snowman. Oh, he's got the Mad Hatter's hat on. Is that it? Is that? Yep, that's it. Okay. I made a snowman. Okay, bye. Ooh, pretty. Thanks. That was uncomfortable for me too, don't worry. Right, have you seen my capybara? It's a Tinkerbell. For some reason, the wings are like... Yeah. It's fine. Are you okay? What the fuck was that? I mean, generally speaking, if I walk around going, ah, there's something wrong. Just saying. Okay, I can't remember what I was doing before I started off on that little tangent. Peridot. Ah, serve customers. See if there's anybody else.
You, my friend, so never give up.
Fuck off. I love this house. Look at it. It's got giant flowers and everything. I love it. I would live in it, 100%. However, spiders. I wasn't. I wasn't expecting the noise. No, not the noise, the song. Sadly, I've got to hang out with him for 5 minutes. Bye, Sally. Well, I fed you, and I fed you, and there's nobody else. So, fuck off. Creepy bitch. Jesus. Maybe there's some in the other one. Do you think? Maybe. Ouch. Oh, we still hanging out? Cool, because I don't like
quick.
Gaston very much.
Ooh.
This is my house. The nice. My garden. Very nice too. Can I open that? I just saw a green chest. So we're gonna detour. Because squirrel. Monkey! Wow. How many detours was that? Oh, I don't have enough.
Look at all this dreamlight.
Damn.
You're doing quite well.
I can't remember what they eat. I know bananas is the obvious answer, but I don't think that's what they actually like. I think they might like 5-star meals. I'll have to look it up. Okay, nope, same people. Fine, fine. The shop changes. I was wondering if the Remy's changed or not. Oh, does it just have to be Remy's though?
There's a
Idea.
lot about this valley.
Probably a terrible idea. That's not going to work, but idea. Because it doesn't specify Remy's. Oh, come on. Sally. I ditched you. Because it didn't, did it? It didn't specify. Nope, just says hungry customers. Okay. Ooh. Hello. Don't mind if I do. This is a very strange tune to be playing when I'm just wandering about all tappy-lappy. Haha! Right. Popsicles, pan-seared bass and vegetables. Oh yes, there's always one that has to be a posh bastard, isn't there? Look at this kitchen. Oh my goodness. Yes! Oh, I don't appreciate the piled up dishes though. Shit, what do I want? Popsicles? Do you know, whenever they get round to being like, okay, so, because, like I told you before, the doctor has been like, I think we should also get you checked to see if you could be on the spectrum. I'm just going to get them to watch back some of these. Something sea bass. Nope, nope, that one. Ooh, excuse me. Right. Your popsicles, sir? Time for my night nap. That's just called sleep, love. Just saying.
Oh boy!
How long does this fucking song go on? Jesus. I've lost my mouse. I found my mouse. Christ almighty, it's enough. I can only think of the Shrek one. Welcome to Dulop, special perfect town. Here we have some rules, let us lay them down. I can't remember it.
Why, thank you.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening!
Hello!
Everyone, what's the procedure?
Welcome in. How was your stream? Hang on. I shall turn this down. I shall do the shouty. Oh, we will snooze that. Thank you. Whoever that was. I appreciate you greatly. So how was your stream? Making sure I spelled that right. Hell yeah. Oh, it didn't work. We'll redo it. I need to redo Pandy's. Because hers didn't work either. And we know that I don't accept this. This is not something that is acceptable. What were you playing?
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, wow.
Many targets eliminated.
Smile.
Nice.
I'm done with that.
What?
Done with it.
Get
Hitman.
scared of?
Ah.
Done with it.
God, it's been years.
Why are you being so...
I had you open on the thing as well.
Definitely talk to me!
Oh dear. Well, that's not a Disney song. I love this song. Hitman. It's been years since I played Hitman. Are you doing the old PlayStation one, or is it like a remastered one, or have they brought a new one out altogether? I wouldn't even know, to be fair, you know. Talking like I know some shit. Mm. Is it gonna work? Nope. The newest World of Assassination. Ooh, very nice. Ooh. Drop your phone, Tommy. World of Assassination. How many Hitmans do they have now, then? They must have a few. Has the most recent trilogy. Oh, nice. I think, to be fair, the last time I played Hitman would have been on PlayStation 2. Just saying. I put this song on before when I had a nap. Because, like, some of the best naps I ever had when I was younger, this song was on repeat in the background because you'd left it on pause on the game screen. Just, oh, you nap so hard. Right. So, one more person to feed. Peridot. Peridot. Can't remember where I said I'd get that again. No, it doesn't have to be shiny. Promenade, grasslands, Dazzle Beach, Peaceful Meadows. Bit. Oh, okra. Who was the okra for? Oh, we're into Fantasia stuff now. Yes. I don't think any of them are okra. It's fine. Because I was dead stupid before, wasn't I? And I made the wrong fucking potion. So, we'll just put 2 holes. Plant some okra. I know I'm saying okra. It could be okra. I honestly can't remember what it's actually meant to be pronounced like. Or how it's meant to be pronounced. Oh, so that... Oh well. Now, who wanted this again? This was Wally, wasn't it? Ooh. Yeah, pretty sure it was Wally. La da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Yes, that's happening. Accept it. I don't mind these ones starting. There will be ads in 50 seconds. Well, I'll say 60 because it always tells me 50 seconds and then that ad's are starting and you just... Wow. Sorry. All I want to do is speak. So yes, it'll tell us that the ads are going to start in 60 seconds and then you're still sitting there for 10 seconds after I've said they're going to start. I don't know what song that is. This ain't Disney. This Disney. Oh, robot, I just heard him. Here you go, you strange little creature. Right, ads should be starting soon. So while they do start, I am going to be right back screen and I'm going to stand up and walk around because I hurt. So, I'll see you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye. Hi. How's it going? Yeah. Because it just, I don't know, there's just something about, oh, they have a Rivendell Lord of the Rings lo-fi. Oh, we have to hear this. So this is Rivendell. I never thought of doing Lord of the Rings lo-fi, you know. Welcome back from the ads. We are currently listening to Rivendell Lord of the Rings lo-fi music. And I just want to give it a minute. Because this has potential to be fantastic. And my new nap music. Oh, fancy. Okay. So it's just kind of repetitive at the minute because it literally does the whole thing. Okay. Hang on. Slurp some tea. Not into the microphone though. And then I'll crack on. Okay. Let's go. We need to win one Scrabble coin. Or whatever this is called. Do we have any requests on characters that we would like to see, or do we not give a monkeys? Okay, this is a bit too repetitive now. Never mind. This isn't Disney, my dudes. Thank you. Go for it. That one. I didn't like him. Try that one. Ooh, I've just got really dizzy. That's fun. We'll try Remy and we'll try Cogsworth. Oh, so they have the spoon thing from Toy Story, Stitch, Remy, Eva, and Lumiere. We can't use him until we've had 2 turns. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with him because you get an extra coin. No. Yes? Yes, you get an extra coin after every turn from him. Whoa. Fun times. I love low blood. I love low blood pressure, don't you? Fucking hell. We'll try Cogsworth. Oh, I like it. Alright, so he can do that. She just jumps. Should we try him? One. Ooh, okay, so Remy's kind of cool. Okay. Cogsworth can go there and then down. He can just walk off up there. Right, what does Stitch do? Just wander out, okay. That is also not Disney. What are you doing? Has it just swapped out with this altogether now? 2 seconds. Shuffle. It's being a silly sausage, right? That's what it's doing. A very silly sausage. What do you mean disable shuffle? You ain't even on shuffle, you stupid. Oh my goodness. I fixed it, I think. We at least have a Disney song. Anyway. Right. Gold coin. Yoink. Hang on. Oh, okay, so can't get that gold coin though, can I? So we can go down to here and then go there. And then we can go here and here. Right, so he can move at least 3 by the look of it, just up or down, sort of like him. Fuck yeah. Alright. So we can go here and then here. It's a gold coin, I don't care. And, oh, good. I wasn't sure if it was going to let us do that there. I thought it was going to go on diagonal. Have we actually won one? Yes! I mean, cool. All I wanted to do. Thank you. Goodbye. Wow, we had a fucking audience. Jesus Christ. No pressure.
I'm ready for bed.
You are creepy as fuck, my dude. Dudette. Please say that you saw Timon's little dance in the background there. That was amazing. So I'm full on getting... Are they having like a bow off? They're having a dance off! Wally, get out of the way. Wally, god damn it. Nobody gives a fuck about your shoe. Move. They're having a dance off. Oh. Go on, Merlin. Oh, yeah. Go on, Timon. Your turn. What are you doing? Hit him with something. Don't give up. Wally, move. It's getting tense, people. Who will the winner be? Oh.
No rules, no responsibilities, no worries.
Nice.
Hakuna Matata.
Merlin, it's your turn. Don't laugh at him, that's rude. He put us all into that little maneuver. I love that they're having a dance-off. This is so good. Right, I'm done. I say Timon wins. Right. What did I need here? Pardon. And that could be found... Overlook Dock. No, it was the promenade. Right. Ooh! I'm going to show you my Simba house while I'm here. I quite like it. Well, if I remember which direction I need to go. Over here? Yep, will do. Haha! Look it! This is just a big old, like, an open area. Wow, I am terrible with cameras. Sorry. But this is where they live. I like it. It's nice. Love flying bugs. Kind of need one more over here though, because it looks weird just having two of them over there. We'll work on that. But yeah, this is my pride rock. I rather like it. Right. Promenade. Up. Promenade. That's not parried up. Ready to stand. Oh, one parried up. I'm pretty sure the promenade's quite sizable, isn't it? Yeah, so it goes all the way back there as well. Okay. Okay, so it goes all the way back here, but they don't have any more smashy routes. That's shocking. Terrible. Only has one well, two places to mine. Seems like a bit of a, bullshit. Where else was it? Did it say grasslands? I'm an extra grasslands. Grasslands down there. Do, do, do. Oh, cabbage. We need cabbage for the capybara. Capybara, 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 capybara. I'd rather not pick any that are harvested because then I've got to, like, plant more. I should probably just, yeah, I should probably do that. Never mind. Fine. It's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you, Sally. I would like to plant some cabbage, please.
Howdy!
10, 5.
Whoa! Whoa!
We have under 1 million? Oh, that's not acceptable. We're going to have to harvest some pumpkins before we leave. Because that's just no bueno. Darn it, it's scary again. Now it's not the... Oh! I forgot I had a magic watering can. Cabbages for everyone! Feels like something out of Oliver Twist. Right, do. Thanks. I just said what I was going to do. Oh yeah, we're looking for mining crop things. There's one. So I'll probably feed a capybara, see if I can find any more peridot with the mining outcrops, and then go do the pumpkins because we are at the 3-hour mark now. Look at this fairy house. I totally forgot about it. Isn't it amazing? I love it. I'd live there, 100%. Yep. Is there a mining outcrop on it? Oh, the raised. See, look at that, man. The perfect fairy house. Mining outcrop underneath. Sorted. No peridot though, but that's fine. Whoa, that camera threw me a bit. Are we still in grasslands? Yes. Any other mining outcrop? Outcrop and red. Ooh, capybara! They look so done with your shit. I love it. Like, yeah, your cabbage. Thanks. I'm so happy. Not as happy as me, though. Right, 2 of those. Fucking trees. Can't see shit. Mining outcrop. Well, at least we got one more. Oh, Bella Noche. That one. So go do the pumpkins, and then we'll find someone to raid. Do do do. One massive pet peeve. You can't move this fucking treehouse. Infuriating. Right, we're not going to have enough space for all the pumpkins, I guarantee it. I'll pick them first. No. And this is why we're not going to have enough room for all the pumpkins, because I have 100 here. And then she adds, like, loads. Normally each pumpkin that she, like, produces is 3 or 4. So we end up with a fair amount of pumpkin. Excuse me, bird, if you would kindly fuck off. Oh, I knew you were going to do that, bitch. Oh, I can't see. Move. Ooh. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You stop putting them behind the fence. Oh no, you just take the piss. How much room I've got? Oh, see, I tell you, fucking loads. Fucking loads. And then do do. Wonder who we should raid. Have you got Sally yet? Yep, there she is. That's a lot of pumpkins. It is a lot of pumpkins. Oh, but you should see. You know how you get... Hang on. I'll collect these and then I'll show you. So you know how when you are building up your friendship levels with them, you get... I know you knew that. You were testing me. You get, like, items, so clothing, things like that. The dress that you get when you have maxed out Sally's levels. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Let's see if I can show you. Excuse me. Itchy eyeball. More details. Oh, it's only tiny weeny at the bottom. I'm probably quite close to getting that to the 7 star, like level 7 friendship. And I'll show you the dresser. Oh, it's beautiful. Honestly. Another thing that I would completely wear. Like right now. Ooh. Beautiful. Right, we're gonna run out of space. Oh, there we go. But we're gonna get a lot of money. Oh, it's fabulous to see you. $528,000 coins.
Have a nice evening.
And now we need to just get the little last dregs of pumpkin. The Withelfine pumpkin. Move it, Buster. And then we buy 100 and plant them. That's less fun. 16,000 for fucking... How many pumpkins was that? 25. Insanity. I bet you're happy. I still took more money off you than you got off me though, so... Right. So you know how I've done the mustache face as one of the bit emotes? I've been trying to think of other things that I could... Because I was thinking if I keep the bit emotes as my mug, it'll deter you. It'll just be like something like special kind of thing. I don't know, because I've ordered 12 new static emotes, and they're meant to be custom, so we'll see how they turn out. I am very excited for that though. But I don't know what other things to do. I've got a silly hat that's like a panda. I was debating getting that. Sort of like, you know how Papa Bear has his bear hat. I've got a panda hat. I've got the little hands. I need to eat. Da, 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 da. Do I have the little hands here? Where the little head? You know, I've got the whole like, oh, little hands. They're on the wrong side. Should be that side. Oh. I need to change colour though, because I'm white as shit. I could literally do panda face paint. I don't know. I could do a cozy one. I've got a blanket around my head. Who the fuck is that? Is that it? Shut the fuck up, dude. Jesus. Because we've got the moustache. I don't know what else to do. I also was considering making the whole like panda pop, a thing that you can, a sound that you can redeem with points. God, my English is so good today, so good. Oh, I'm like, did I buy too many seeds? No. You ain't never had a friend like me. Thank God, right? One of me's enough. Ooh, I also had a tiny Tina's urge the other day as well. But if anyone has any ideas of things that'd make good little, like, face emote things, let me know. I don't know how to make, like, GIF ones, though, because I'm not that computer savvy. Right, okay, so we've planted pumpkins, we've sold pumpkins.
Ooh, we are so lucky to have you here.
Shut up. We now need to raid. I'll just find somewhere nice to park us. Why won't we sit on the bench? I was going to say. Yep, sit, bitch. There's a little app that you can download that can record a section of your screen for a few seconds. You can turn it into GIF. Oh. Well. Hang on. Ready? Hello. Don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I'll find it. Probably, maybe. Da 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 da. Press the wrong button, sorry. Right, so let's see who is about to read. But yeah, if you think of anything that would be like an entertaining one, do let me know. So let's see, we have... Trash Panda is playing Lethal Company. Nimbus is playing Lethal Company. We have Final 14. Overwatch. Farm Sim 25. Valorant. Ayla's just chatting. I think she's building, like, miniatures. It looks like she's building a D&D thing. If you would like to watch her build that. We have The Forest. Trash is doing a 24-hour stream. Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, we could pop in to see Trash. My fellow panda. Is that a vote for Trash? Should we go see Trash? I don't like calling her Trash. Should we go see the other panda? T-Panda. No, that doesn't sound right, does it? Trash or Ayla? Or would we rather... What do you think? Would we rather do... Because Ayla's just, like, she's building stuff. I'm looking at the wrong place. You're there. You're not there. You're there. She's building the D&D stuff. And what did I say Trash was doing? Well, Trash is doing 24-hour stream. Lethal Company. Does anybody else have a preference? Watch Ayla build D&D or watch Trash play Lethal Company? Come on, peeps. Come on. Snow blows white on the mountain night. That's what I was thinking. That is what I was thinking. So hang on. I'm making sure I'm spelling this right because I always potentially.
Here we go. Ready for this? Well, they're crunchy.
That went well.
Duffman, I hate you so much right now. That's garlic.
Yeah, I don't understand reversion to garlic, but nobody's perfect, right? Okay, so there we are. I fixed the raid messages. I remembered. I think. Let's just double check that before I'm like, I did a good thing, and it turns out I did fuck all. I can hear myself on there. That's horrible. Yay! I did it. So, you lovely bastards. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. Exile, thank you for the raid. Everyone that's been in chat, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you greatly. I know I already said that exact sentence 2 seconds ago, but you can have it twice and you can fucking live with it and be happy, okay? And we will be back tomorrow with... What did I say we were playing? Ragnarok, God of War. We will be back tomorrow with God of War Ragnarok. And it'll be great, and I will lose my shit because I'll get kicked to fuck all the time. Oh, hang on. I also want a shouty. I forgot. Oh no, I can't remember the name properly. Well, I do, but... Ugh. I owe Varric a shouty and I can't remember. I'll do it next time. Okay, anyway, love you guys. Bye!